Tonga's main island will go into lockdown for a week after the South Pacific nation reported its first case of the coronavirus since the start of the pandemic, the government said Monday. The far-flung archipelago identified its first virus case last week, after a traveler arriving from New Zealand tested positive and isolated at a quarantine hotel. Tonga's Prime Minister Pohivatu Yonetoa said the lockdown would begin just after midnight on Tuesday and apply only to the island of Tongatapu, where a majority of the population live. The nation's cabinet ordered the move to ensure the safety and health of our people, news website Matangi Tonga reported. The lockdown will mean schools, bars and restaurants will be closed, and nighttime curfews imposed. People will be required to isolate at home unless they are buying groceries or medicine, getting medical help, or accessing banking services. News of the case has prompted hundreds of Tongans to line up at vaccination sites around the country. About 31% of Tongans are fully vaccinated and 48% have had at least one dose, according to research group Our World in Data. The infected traveler was among 215 passengers who arrived on a flight from Christchurch on Wednesday. Christchurch had been free from the virus for months until last week, when several community cases were reported. New Zealand health officials said the traveller to Tonga was fully vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine and had returned a negative test before leaving for Tonga. Tonga is among the few remaining nations in the world that have avoided outbreaks of the virus due to its isolation. The nearby nation of Fiji avoided significant outbreaks until April, when the Delta variant ripped through the island chain, infecting more than 50,000 people and killing at least 673. Tonga's frontline workers, including health staff, police officers and airport staff, who were on duty when the plane arrived, had also been put into quarantine. Located northeast of New Zealand, Tonga is home to about 106,000 people. Meanwhile, New Zealand's Prime Minister, as New Zealand battles the spread of the infectious Delta variant of COVID-19, it has agreed on a November 10 reopening date for retail stores and institutions such as libraries and museums, Ardern told a news conference. Because of the high vaccination rates in Auckland, we can move with greater confidence, Ardern said. These decisions are carefully balanced and allows us to release some of the pressure and fatigue that we know exists in Auckland. The city's limit on the size of outdoor gatherings was lifted to 25 people. New Zealand won global praise last year for a response that stamped out the coronavirus, but has proved unable to quash the current outbreak, forcing it to adopt a strategy of living with the virus instead of the earlier aim of elimination. Daily cases have been rising to record highs in the last few days, with 162 on Monday. Of these, 53 sufferers were in hospital, with 4 in intensive care. Cases are expected to keep rising in a model of the outbreak released to the media. But Ardern said high vaccination rates gave protection to keep down hospital admissions. Previously we worked hard to eliminate every case. While Delta has forced us to change our approach, vaccines ensure we have the same goal, she added. More than 75% of New Zealand, or about 3.1 million people, have now been fully vaccinated, while 88% have got one dose. However, the government said an increasing number of new cases are among the indigenous Maori community, where the vaccination rate is lower.